Next, we land in the West. The West. The bear man. Except when they are courting, pursuing a woman. Bears are typically solitary animals. Of all the male types, the bear man is the most physically present. He likes to hug, hold, and cuddle his partner during sex. Bear men can be stocky, strong, and at times lumbering and slow. Yet when the heat of passion rises, bear men are stunningly swift and strong. You know, when bears are just walking around, they're usually lugging around slow. But once it's time to go, they get pretty swift. And these lovers take charge of their loving thrusts and can carry their lovers deep into a mystery of magic and sexual trance. Remember, they're from the West. Bear men have an affinity for finding lifelong friendships and love. They truly cherish the physical feelings of connected intimacy. They thrive by having a steady source of warm feminine energy and like the comforts of home and the hearth. They are gifted with natural sexual prowess and sometimes like to fall asleep inside their partners, dreaming through the night after a good night of sex. When bear men bond sexually, they will safeguard loved ones with fierce courage. When bear men are like this, they make dependable, devoted partners who yearn for the joys of enduring companionship. Charming and courting a bear man is easy. He seeks true friendship and responds to steadfast, unwavering affection. He needs to know you are there to stay. Bear men are, however, prone to loneliness and get needy when they don't get the attention they crave. Bears regularly retreat into their caves for winter sleep to recharge themselves, and thus their medicine is the keeper of dreams. Bear men can be visionary leaders. They can take their partners deep into healing dream states and provide security and support for their daily dreams as well. Bears often lay down false tracks and are notorious for doubling back on anything tracking them. They are extremely clever, and it's impossible to predict what they will do. They can be capricious, impulsive, and whimsical. When they are happy, they go out of their way to give special things and love to surprise their partners with affectionate gifts. They may disappear from time to time, but they will return to share insights of their solitary journeys. Because they tend to retreat into their own worlds and lapse into long periods of brooding uncertainty, bear men need to communicate their sexual desires with clarity and conviction. They can be slow, patient, and overly defensive, and thus seem to take forever doing only things they want to do. For a bear man to manifest the gifts he hopes to offer, he needs to overcome his moody hesitations and take decisive actions that spring from the passion of the heart. When bear men conquer their fears of being vulnerable and weak and learn to express their needs for intimacy and sexual love, Their optimism overflows with commanding authority. Strengthened with a steadfast source of feminine intimacy, a bear man will not only face any obstacle to protect what is meaningful to him, he will courageously care for the fragile aspirations of his lovers and maintain unbending bonds of freedom and trust. This man is very much one that does need his space, his little man cave, somewhere in the home. He needs his space. He likes to retreat, whether it's to recharge or to simply just catch his breath, or to just be, not even do anything major. So if he has a woman that is constantly needing to be with him, this might become a problem, because it's in his nature to retreat and to have his own solo time. Does he want to go and cheat and do whatever? No, he just wants to have that time to himself. Or the other thing is, sometimes he will get stuck in that. And so it's really good to know that balance for the man himself and for his partner, because he can get stuck in hibernation. He can also sometimes be insensitive in terms of expecting to go retreat and maybe not giving the other person the chance to retreat as well and recharge. He can be very stuck in his ways and just doing what he likes during sex, and is unable maybe, or gets stuck in not being able to express what he wants during sex. He might get stuck in a sexual routine. And those are things that are just more about being in tune with yourself and learning that balance of too much or too little. Just to add on to that, in terms of asking for what you want as a man, men can definitely ask for what they want. But it's always just like all of us, men and women, we can all ask for what we want. We can guide. I like that word better. I can guide someone to please me the way I want to be pleased. And a man can do the same. Now, if we're with toxic people that are like, oh, well, did he do it like that to you? Or did someone do it like, once people start thinking, they go in their heads or something. And if they already have a jealous nature and all these things, well, then you know that that's not the person for you. Because if you're asking and you're communicating your sexual needs and someone gets offended or takes it in a whole other direction, then we're dealing with lower emotional intelligence or sensitivity, or perhaps even a trauma. And so if that's the case, then each one of those needs to be taken care of in a different way, because none of this is cookie cutter, really. There's always, men will, just like women, also be influenced by their upbringing and by other things. But no matter what we're influenced with, once it gets time to be an adult, then you have time to explore and to, but eventually, if you want to master sex, you have to master yourself. So the distinguishing features, bear men's shafts are very thick and fairly long, although not as long as a pony or a horseman's. Their balls are fairly small and compact, and when they are aroused, they draw back tightly towards the groin area. Usually, a bear man's semen has a somewhat Clorox-like odor, which becomes more astringent if he is unhealthy and stressed. While all men's semen will change in scent if they are unhealthy, this is particularly true of a bear man. And yes, there are, I'm going to say, a lot more bear men. This is more of an average size, if we go by what we hear, right? Not too large, not as large as a pony or a horse, not smaller, but sort of a more average male size. And the scent is very distinct. Direction on the wheel: west, a place of the body; earth, holding and transforming with intimacy. Length of the shaft is 1 to 2 hands. Thick, 2 to 4 inches in diameter. Loads of spurts of ejaculate, 1 to 2 spurts with pauses in between. Timing, slow. Timing to come to orgasm. Whereas our first one was rapid fire. Taste of the semen: sweet, soury, sharp taste, like Clorox or astringent if not balanced. And remember this, the unhealthiness or anything that man is experiencing, if he is a bear man, will have more of an effect on the taste and the scent of his cum. Temperature is cool. Consistency of the ejaculate is thick, white, honey-like. So it's thick like honey, not runny like syrup. Position of the testicles: tight and close to the body. Temperament and demeanor: intensely affectionate, supportive, protective, courageous, and visionary dreamers. Tomorrow we'll go on to the pony men, and we'll have a little bit more fun with that. So remember, the position of the balls is key. Balls vary too. Some men have very thick skin balls, very big balls. Other men have smaller, really close to their bodies. They're cute little balls. And they might have a long shaft. Other men have balls that hang lower. And so these are all features, and the skin of the balls is thinner. These are all telltale signs. Not just the length and the girth, but all of it, the temperature. The temperature of a pussy varies, as does the temperature of the balls and the shaft, and how fast a man will be, and the thickness, all. Just so you don't feel left out, because just like all pussies are not created equal, all cocks are not either.